What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down how wide receivers can read defenses and read coverages to organize their pre-snap plan and to be more efficient with their route running, okay? So I hope this helps you guys out. I hope it improves the football IQ side of things. We talk a lot about the technical side of things on this page, but I hope this improves the football IQ and how you guys can actually approach the game, all right? But also, fellas, if you guys have not heard, we are going to be coming to 9 different states this offseason for 2-day quarterback, wide receiver, and DB training camp. So check out that very first link below. If we are coming to a state near you, we are going to Florida, we're coming to Arizona, we are going to Dallas and Houston, Texas, we're coming to Newark, New Jersey, coming to Atlanta, Georgia, we're coming to Chicago, and then, like I said, Dallas, and then we're coming to Tennessee and Nashville, and then we're finishing off the camp series in Los Angeles. So it's going to be a 2-day camp, each one of those. It's going to be a great opportunity for you guys to come out, get some great work in with us. We'll have wide receivers, DBs doing 7-on-7, 1-on-1s. I myself will be there. So if you guys are interested in that and local to that area, check out that very first link below. Spots are starting to fill up quick because we've been promoting it for about a week now. So check out that very first link below. Let's get started. So first riders from DJ Moore. One of the great things about this is he takes what the DB gives him on this wide step release, okay? So the main thing is when you guys come up to the line, you got to have a pre-snap process. I talk about this a lot with the quarterbacks that I train. Like, hey, you got to understand that when you come into the line, it's a process. It's strategic, and it's something that you get in the habit of every single time you walk up to the line of scrimmage. So as a wide receiver, I need to have the exact same thing. I'm trying to identify the corner, the safety, and then I'm peeking in the box. I don't need to worry too much about that unless it's a situation like this where I'm down in the slot. But what you should be looking for is, okay, is the corner pressed up? Is he outside shade? Is he head up? Is he inside shade? Is he going to be off? Is he outside shaded off coverage? Is he head up off coverage? Is he inside shade off coverage? Is he giving me man eyes or is he giving me zone eyes? And man eyes is exactly what we have with this receiver here, watching my hips, staring at me. Now, how I can do this process of elimination is you look at the leverage, you look at the eyes where he's lined up on the field. That's obviously a given. And then I look to the inside of the safety. So in this specific case, right, so I see that a DB is a little bit outside shade, eyes are on me. So that looks like he's an outside leverage man coverage. So where does he not want me to go? He doesn't want me to go to the outside. That's why he's lined up outside shade for a reason. So I can pretty much declare with that process of elimination without even having to see the coverage, he's got help to the inside. Nobody is going to play straight up man coverage like cover 0 where there's no safeties back there, or cover 1 where there's only one safety and he's playing like a center fielder, but everybody's in man, letting this DB or letting this receiver run across his face because you got to chase him 53 yards. So as a wide receiver, we understand that. He does not want to give up the outside. So if I have a route like a fade route or maybe like a corner route, I'm probably going to have to take the inside release on this. I'm not going to be able to take the outside release, and we're going to get into that later with a specific example we show up with Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State. So now we see that he goes with this wide step release here. So this wide step release is exactly how it sounds. You step with your back foot and you step wide. You step outside the DB's frame. It's a way of selling vertical in just one step. You step here, you actually threaten him like you're going to the outside. Hips and shoulders commit to the outside, right? You're not just staying square with your upper body. You give a little bit of a lean, a little bit of a throw of your hip. But main thing is you're stepping wide. That step right there keeps that DB honest. So the whole reason this wide receiver chose that release, chose that wide step release, is because he came up outside shade DB. He's got to run a slant route. He's not going to force the just inside release and just let him get right into his hip and reroute him because that's what a lot of guys will do. We have to keep this DB honest. He's outside leverage, so let's attack his leverage. Let's keep him honest to that leverage so I could get this free release to the inside, burst up into my slant route, and you see he's not right on my hip completely rerouting me. That's the mistake that a lot of receivers will make is they'll come up, they won't know how to read coverages, so they'll come up to the line of scrimmage right here, and what they'll do is they'll just think, okay, he's outside shade, I have a slant, I can just go run off, I can just go run the slant. This DB will get right into your hip pocket, reroute you, and when it's one-on-ones, it don't matter, right, fellas? It don't matter if it's one-on-ones because there's no other plays out there. 7-on-7 doesn't necessarily matter as much, but in an actual game, 11-on-11, spacing matters. The whole play concept is set up for a reason. Every single route has a purpose. So if your spacing is screwed up because you just ran off and took the release, then we're going to screw up the entire play. Let's watch this thing again, full speed. Great job recognizing the outside shade, knowing that he probably has safety help to the inside, so he'll give him a free inside release. We just have to threaten him where he doesn't want me to go to get him off the platform so I could get a little bit freer of a release, be able to restack and keep spacing on the route. That's the name of the game. So that's the first thing you have to do when you're reading coverage as a wide receiver. You got to recognize, okay, DB, where's he lined up? Is he off, press, kind of in between, 2 to 3? Is he pressed up, trying to look like he's going to get physical? Do I have a couple yards? Is his eyes on me or his eyes looking in the backfield? man or zone eyes, and is he outside shade, head up, or inside shade? Then I can kind of do a process of elimination, identify the safeties, peek out the box, and we'll talk about the box here in a second. Let's watch the thing full speed. Great job by stepping outside of his frame, getting up into this slant route, and then making this catch over the middle. Great overall route there by DJ Moore, okay? So now we're looking at this router from Devontae Adams. So this is a common question that we get asked. Now, we just talked about outside leverage, right? When he's head up. Now, this is like outside shade zone or maybe like off man because he's giving him those man coverage eyes, and he has to run an outside breaking route. He has to run an out route. So what the hell am I supposed to do in this specific case? A lot of people don't know, and a lot of people don't know how to actually approach this, especially when that DB is this far wide and my split is cut down like this. So let's watch Adams do this, technician of route running. So he comes off here. He does a great job doing this vertical set to get back inside and then break this thing right off and create space to the sideline, okay? So now, DB's outside shade for a reason, right? So we talk about this all the time. Just like DJ Moore did, right? But now it's just a little bit different. Now he's off coverage, right? Now he's about 7 to 8 off. I got some space to actually work this thing, and I have to run a 10-yard out. Now, the key with the 10-yard out is we got to give that quarterback space to lead me. We got to give him space to be able to throw me open. I don't want to break off on an out route 2 yards from the sideline because, A, that's either going to be a pick six, or the quarterback is not going to throw it because we don't have enough space and he can't lead us. That's an incredibly hard throw for us. So as a receiver, that's got to be my mindset. So I see that he's outside shade pre-snap. Looks a little bit like zone, looks a little bit like off man. It looks like the linebackers are in zone coverage. That's why we peek the box to kind of tell what the backers are doing. If it looks like they're bringing the house as a receiver, I know, okay, I got to probably get up into this route pretty quick. I can't take my time. I can't be doing all this fancy stuff. If it looks like zone, okay, quarterback's got a little bit of time. Let me work this route a little bit, okay? So now, but again, understand what read you are on the play as well. Don't think that you could work this long-ass route when you're a first read and the quarterback's doing a quick game footwork drop. It's not like that. You got to make sure you understand what read you are on the play, but also how you can structure your route against a specific coverage, okay? So now, 10-yard out against outside shade. What Adams does a great job of is attacking his leverage right off the bat. That's not the only thing you want to do, though. That's what a lot of receivers make the mistake of. They'll attack the DB's leverage like so, and then they just try to run into the out route because they think anytime they see off man, oh, I just got to attack his leverage. But if you just attack the DB's leverage, he's just going to widen. And then you're going to end up running the out route right into him with no space. You ran the route poorly. You covered yourself, right? So what Adams does is he takes this thing we call a pressure step, right? So we all know when I have an outside shade corner and I got to run a 10-yard out, you want to split him in half. You want to attack the inside shoulder because the goal is to get him to open up that gate, flip his hips vertical so I could slip back underneath, right? Just like how it would be if you had to run like an outside breaking route, like let's say you had to run a 5-yard out when he was pressed up. If he was pressed up and you had to do this, you'd attack the inside, get him to bail his hips, and then you'd slip back underneath. Same principle, it's just a little bit longer now. So we split the DB into two. I go up to him, I attack that leverage, I get him to keep that leverage, and now what opens up? Opens up a lot of space to the inside, so that's my mindset with this. And again, fellas, I make this clear, he's not thinking about this while he's running the route. This is something that was predetermined, but this is why we talk about reading coverages, so you have this plan, so when you get into a game, you're thought about this throughout the week. You structured your plan throughout the week through film study, so when you get into a game, you see that coverage, bam, I know what to do, and I can play fast, okay? Don't mistake me for saying that I think he's thinking this right now, because he's not. I can guarantee you he's not. I can guarantee you all he's worried about is working the route, getting separation, and the actual play concept, because that's his job on this play. So now back to the breakdown. So when he pushes vertical like this, you see, what does he do? He attacks the inside shoulder. He gets that DB to open up the gate a little bit, and that creates that space for him to be able to work this out route. We got that DB to open up his hips a little bit. DB's not in a horrible position, but just that little bit of separation right there, running a 10-yard out against outside shade, off-man coverage, that is a great route right there, and that is all the space we need from a quarterback perspective. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Adams recognizing the outside shade, attack the leverage, stem inside, break back underneath. Let's watch it again. So great job going at him, pushing up vertical, and then breaking this thing right off to get this catch on this play. So now we're going to be talking about how releases can be a lot about reacting, okay? So this is a clip here from Garrett Wilson. So when we have a DB, again, we're talking a lot about outside shade today, right? Because I think inside shade's the easy one, and we'll briefly touch on that in this clip. But we see how this DB's outside shade, right? I have to run a 10-yard out, just like what we were working with Adams. So this could be a corner, this could be a comeback, this could be a whole lot of things, right? This could be a fade route, but if I get this DB who's outside shade, and obviously on a 10-yard out, ideally from like, especially when you're kind of like in this tight formation out of the slot, I would say, or maybe not even out of the slot, maybe you're just splits cut way down and you're kind of tight in the formation, you don't want to force anything, right? So what he decides to do is he comes off with this like kind of outside release. Now, when he works to the outside right here, all he's doing is gathering info, right? Is this guy going to open up? Is he going to widen with me? Is he going to sit to the inside? Is he going to backpedal? Whatever is he doing? But when he jumps to the outside like this and he's outside shade, I'm just working him off that platform. We worked him off that platform because he's outside shade for a reason. He ain't going to give up the inside, right? So when he moves off that platform, I know that he's opening up the inside. So that's exactly what it comes down to when you're reading this defense. You see that he's outside shade. Okay, I got to attack that leverage. I got to attack him off the ball and take what he gives me. And he gives him that inside release. And you see when he has to run that outside breaking route, what does he do? He forces that DB to flip his hips because we attack the inside. Very similar to what we just looked at there with Devontae Adams. And then we were able to create separation and explode out. Now, what would you do, you think, if this was the exact same look, but he was inside shade instead of outside shade? You would want to take what he gives you, right? So you'd want to attack his leverage inside, move him off that platform, and then push up vertical, take the outside release, and then break this thing right off and get out to this 10-yard out. You just got to make sure that we sell it vertical. So you got to make sure, fellas, that anytime it's man coverage, zone coverage, off man, we have a plan. He's inside shade, and I have an outside breaking route. I'm going to attack his leverage, push back up vertical, then break it off. He's head up. I'm going to go straight at him. I'm going to close the distance, give him a move, and take the outside release. He's outside shade. I'm going to set him up outside, keep him honest, take the inside release, force the hip turn, break it back to the outside. There's got to be a strategy every single time, every single route, every single play that you go up to the line, right? So make sure, fellas, you know how to read a defense. You know how to understand what a corner is doing. It's not just about being athletic enough to make the move. It's not just about being able to make the tight breaks and the sudden breaks and the violent snap down and all that stuff that we love to talk about, and that stuff's great, but you got to know when to do it, and you got to know the efficient way to actually do it. Let's watch the thing full speed one more time. Great job setting him up outside. Take what the DB gives you, push vertical, and then break this thing off suddenly to create space. All right, guys, we want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We'll get back to you as soon as I can. Always appreciate the feedback. Always appreciate the things that you guys have to say. And again, fellas, we're coming to 9 different states this offseason. Only 50 spots per camp, too, fellas. So that's about 15 spots per position. We're already about 50% full in the first 4 that we were offering in Tampa, Florida, Houston, Texas, and Phoenix, Arizona. So I hope you guys can check that out. I hope you guys can get a spot if you're interested in this. Very first link in that description below. I'll see you guys next time.